Are all batteries the same? That's like asking if all soccer players are the same. Take Messi, the most decorated player ever. Is there any other player who has achieved that? No, just him. Now take Duracell. Is there any other battery with power boost ingredients inside? No, just Duracell. Remember, goats only trust goats because they're built different. And Messi only trusts Duracell.
You want to get your backyard summer ready, but you don't want to break the bank? Wayfair gets it. Planning on dining al fresco or relaxing poolside? Wayfair has everything you need to prep your space. Shop now and save up to 70% off during Wayfair's 4th of July clearance. Score huge deals on outdoor furniture, area rugs, and more. We're talking thousands of products for every style and budget. Plus, surprise flash deals July 6th. Don't wait. Shop Wayfair's 4th of July clearance now through July 6th at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Athletic Brewing Company crafts award-winning non-alcoholic beers for those who want to be part of every round. With over 185 flavor awards, they're exceptional NA beers that fit your lifestyle and any social occasion. Summer's full of good times, and Athletic fits right in. Go to athleticbrewing.com to have brews delivered to your door, or find them at a bar, restaurant, or store near you. Near beer. Athletic Brewing Company. Fit for all times.
And welcome back to the Welsh Regional Rugby Appreciation Podcast. I'm not Harley, I'm Hattie, and today I am joined by Zach. Hi, Zach.
Hi, Hattie. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. Now, before me and Zach jump on the call, I've decided we're calling this the snack wrap because there is only 2 of us, not 4 of us. There's only representatives from West Wales. Clearly, the East didn't want to get involved today, as we just jump through some of the bits of news, and also those 3 games that happened at the weekend, and the game that's going to happen coming up. Is that all right with you, Zach?
Yeah, there's not too much going on. It's a fairly quiet week in Welsh rugby, otherwise.
Do you know what? Having said that, we're going to jump straight in with it's a fairly quiet week in Welsh rugby. But what's happened so far in the news? Obviously, we don't have Nick, so we don't have the news desk. We've just got 2 random bits of news. But the piece of news that did come up, I believe, yesterday is that we almost don't have a game this weekend because the players are in dispute with the union.
I do love a bit of strike action before a game. One of my favourite games ever was Wales-England 2023. I really enjoyed having tickets to that and not knowing if it was on until, 2 days before. It's nice to know that at least no one's, given how badly Wales-Fiji has sold, that no one else is in that dilemma this time.
No. And do you know what? The other thing is, because it's a Fiji home game, it wouldn't have actually affected the union that much. So I wouldn't have been surprised if they'd just gone, yeah, no, we're not doing it.
It does speak to the union and just how much of a shambles they are.
But it's like we can't have. First of all, we've already had the Baa Baas game, which we'll get into later. We've already had that in this run of games, but it wasn't finalised like 3 days before the start of any tournament. After they've already had a game, so it says that it's employment terms and an agreement was reached between the governing body and the Players Association. So was that like how much they were going to get paid because there was more travel? I don't know. So I'm very intrigued by it all.
I think a lot of it comes out. I remember listening to Dan Bigger on the Sport and Money podcast or whatever, speaking about how the amount they got paid as players would depend on where they were in the world rankings. And it wouldn't surprise me if WRU saw that we were currently sitting in, I think, 11th or 12th, and said, yeah, we're paying you significantly less because we're in 11th or 12th. It's like, that's not. And then the players will hopefully kick up a fuss about that because that's not really on, especially.
No, and I also guess we've got quite a few players who are leaving the regions and going over to England to play, who are all starters. So I guess that complicates the matter as well. But yeah. So anyway, the game's going ahead. So that's our non-news news. But bit of news is that Nadine Griffiths, new head lady in charge of women's rugby, she said last week, accidentally let the cat out of the bag during I believe it was a presser for the Baa Baas game. to say that the idea of like Welsh or Scottish Irish teams joining the PWR, which is Premiership Women's Rugby, not Professional Women's Rugby, Premiership Women's Rugby. Sorry, my phone is ringing. There we go. No, you can't ring me. What was I saying, Zach? Premiership Women's Rugby. Before my mum decided to ring me, was basically saying that it's a merger between the Celtic Challenge teams and the PWR. So that would be Gwalia and Brython joining joining the PWR along with the four other Celtic teams, which would be really cool actually. And we've seen like today, Maisie Davis has announced she's leaving Bristol Bears, so she's going back over the border, presumably.
She's coming home, thankfully.
Well, she's not going home because she's actually a Scarlets girl, but she got picked by Gwalia to play, so I'm assuming she's going back to Gwalia. Not quite home, but I won't hold it against her.
He doesn't like playing it. Rodney Parade.
It's actually Astrid Monarch.
I'm such a fake fan.
Yeah, even better.
No.
It's Astrid Monarch, and apparently they've got lovely Bovril.
Wouldn't know. I mean, it's good news all around, though, because, like, quite frankly, the PWR it is the premier women's league at the moment, and there's a reason that England are on top. It's because all their players are playing in the PWR.
But the reason why the PWR is as successful it is, and the reason why the game keeps getting pushed forward in the PWR, and why the rugby, like the quality of the rugby itself, is growing, is getting better and better, is the fact that it's not just English players playing in that league. I think there was more Canadians in the final than there were Red Roses, which is kind of mad. But it is.
It's just good because I think the more teams in the PWR, the better. You're going to get more games naturally, which I think more women's rugby going on end of is always good for clubs. It means they'll always get more ticket sales, going more for the gate. It means that then you can improve the quality of the squads and pay the players more.
And I'm assuming that it would go up to 14 teams. There's currently 9, so they'd probably drop Leicester Tigers. Have 8 English teams in the 6 Celtic teams, have 14 teams. You wouldn't have bye weeks, and I think it would just sail through a lot quicker because the league is just very disjointed as it stands in terms of when fixtures are and when fixtures aren't. So hopefully they'd be able to just move through a lot quicker, which would be good.
It'd feel more professional having 14 teams. It'd feel like sort of the old Pro 12 almost.
Yeah.
In terms of scope and scalability, which is just like nice. It means it's a lot easier to follow as a bit of a casual, at least a women's game like me.
And I think also it would be better for like broadcasting deal because at the moment a lot like the Celtic Challenge is split between BBC, TJ Kaha, I believe, in Ireland, and then YouTube, and then PWR is split between TNT, BBC, and YouTube. So I think if they can make that work and have it, more games on TNT, because at the minute, I think a lot of people, yes, TNT works in that you have people who are maybe subscribed to TNT and they're going to, just watch it because it's on. But there's loads of people who are only PWR fans. Well, they're not going to subscribe to TNT at however much per month just to watch one game potentially per week. Sometimes it's like one game per month. It's not going to work.
It's not exactly a pulling market at the moment.
No. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what happens there. It won't be this coming season. It would probably be the season after. But shout out to Nadine Griffiths for kind of dropping letting the cat out the bag there. That was good. Now, after we've got through all of our news, something very exciting happened at the weekend, which was that me and Zach met in person for the first time.
Yeah, it was sort of weird, and I just sort of bumped into you in the stands.
Yeah, after post. So basically, in the group chat, I could see Hugh Griffin vlogging, and I kept taking photos of him, and then Zach found me.
Yeah, echolocation based off. I could see Hugh Griffin from across Twickenham, given it was that empty. And you just look for the slightly skinny man on the upper level vlogging.
With a hat in 30 degrees.
It was a choice.
It was a choice.
It seemed relatively shady on the other day.
It did, to be fair. we were not shaded on the lower deck, which was the only place fans were because it didn't sell very well. But we did have a fan.
It was a very
Um,
nice fan.
it was a very. Do you know what I went? This is off topic. I went into London again on Tuesday, and for work, and I was like on a jam-packed train going into London at rush hour, and I had the fan in my bag still, and I like pulled it out, and I was like, oh my God, if I didn't have this fan, I think I would actually die. So thanks Amazon, thanks
Hold on.
Bezos, yeah. Um,
Not
anyway,
very
went to
woke.
the not very awake. Apologies. Sometimes you just need next day delivery. Okay, sometimes you just need next day delivery. Anyway, so we went. First game was Wales men versus Baa Baas men.
Do you remember anything from this game? Cool.
I
Me neither.
I remember cheering every time George North got the ball.
That's true.
I remember George North scoring twice, George North kicking a conversion, complaining that it wasn't rugby values because um
Ellis
they
me the
weren't.
double try disallowed or whatever.
Yeah, so this was it. My overall thing, apart from like George North being involved, right, is that entire game was like not very barbars, which I thought was really boring. Like they're, let whoever scores take the conversion. That should
Actually,
just be a rule. Why is there a fly half kicking my conversion? I want chaos, please. Number two, why are we going to the TMO? It's the barbars. You're not supposed to have TMO in a barbars game. It's rude. Um, and yeah, Ellis Me just kept having tries disallowed. I will say, I met Ellis Me after the game. That was a man who worked hard. He was very sweaty.
he did look like he was in a puzzle at the end, which, given that it was 32 degrees
I,
and
I,
glorious, took some effort.
I like touched it, not in a weird way. Like I put my arm around him for a photo, and my arm was literally wet. It was, it was so gross. But yeah, that's all I remember from that game. Like I'm sure that there's statistics that will say something, but it was forgettable.
There's a couple of things that weren't that forgettable. I mean, like, I just remember that four Ospreys halfbacks scored not very four okay tries.
Yeah.
I mean, Wales looked vaguely okay when we weren't dropping the ball, which
Yeah,
happened a lot.
I will say, if you weren't there in person, especially if you were not watching from Europe and you haven't heard, last weekend was very hot and it was very sweaty and it was very humid. So I'm not surprised that the ball got dropped a lot.
It wasn't convincing. It didn't feel particularly fun.
No.
The most annoying thing about that game, though, was the Barbers picked a 10 that was AI generated. I
He wasn't
refuse.
real.
It's a guy called Harry Plummer. That's not a real name. That's a
Is he the
Leinster.
one that I thought was Australian and it turned out he's English?
No, he's Kiwi.
Oh,
Yeah, which is legitimately, I've never heard of him at all.
I'm assuming he's not capped.
I don't think so. I remember someone called Harry Plummer played for All Blacks. I'd like to
Yeah, I
think I was
also
this.
feel like you know, they've got Barrett's, corpses before they bring in somebody new to play 10. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Anyway, moving on to the more exciting game of the day.
the women's.
Wales women versus Baa Baas women. Now, first of all, if you could find this game, well done. I've heard that apparently it was rather difficult to find because I think the men's game was on Premier Sports, but the women's wasn't because Premier Sports doesn't care about women's sport. Um, Premier men's sport only.
Yeah. No
Um,
way.
no way. And a significant amount of people left the stadium, which was fine for us because it meant we moved to right behind the like control box, and sat with Dave the Shield Man from the Rayburn and Utrecht Shields, which was very cool.
Yeah, that's right.
Um,
Probably most expensive seats in Twickenham, and it's just us, my
and
mate,
we
and
just
the Shieldman.
yeah, and we just sat there for shits and gigs. Um, but yeah, had a lovely time. Got to meet Stella Oren's mum before the start of the match.
That's fun.
that was fun. So hi Mallory, very nice to meet you. I've probably butchered your name. Lovely lady. Mad accent because Stella Orin's mum is French, so half French, half like Carmarthen. Wild, wild combination. Um, but yeah, I got to watch the game. How did you find it, Zach? We popped your cherry.
Can you not use that term? That is quite a lot of fun. Mate, Wales women were playing some really good rugby. Quite frankly, somehow Ashley Beck has made their attack like look okay. I get it's a Baa Baas, but like we
We
looked
felt
way.
more Baa Baas than the Baa Baas.
But it's like, I think bringing in a bunch of 18-year-olds to come and play international rugby works quite well.
When you're playing the Baa Baas.
I think it just works quite well because they've been playing for Griffon and are notably in form.
This is
Um,
it. This was I think the difference between the team that played at the weekend versus the team that played maybe in the Six Nations is that because of the way that the PWR final and semi-finals worked, we basically had no Welsh players from the top four teams. So there were, well, we had a couple of Hartpury players, but there was no like Gloucester Hartpury starters, no Saracens, Trailfinders. Um, we don't really have anybody at Chiefs anyway, but we had nobody from those top teams. We didn't have anybody from Gloucester Hartpury, which is obviously pretty devastating to the Wales team because that makes up the backbone of our squad. But it meant that we had to try new things. We did have Kaylee Powell slot in at 10, and I think we can officially say Kaylee Powell is not a 10.
she looked like she looks like prime second playmaker.
Yeah, I understand why Sean Lynn tried playing her at 12. That didn't work. I think she's an out and out 15. We just have to
Yeah,
accept that. Um, I think KB, when she came on at 10, was decent, but I think really when things started working properly at 10 was when Jenna De Vera had to come
yeah.
back on and play 10. I think that was great, and I think that actually could work really well if we can keep on with Jenna playing 10, especially as I believe she's coming back to Wales this year to play Celtic Challenge. So presumably she'll be playing for Bristol and have her, get proper game time at 10 would be great. Um, but we had actual speed on the wings. And even though Jazz Joyce was available, she wasn't played. We had new starts on the wing. Obviously, it was an uncapped game, but I think because those uncapped players didn't have the pressure of this game matters, like this game counts towards, they could just ball out. Stella Orin, mentioning her again, she came off the bench for the first time. She's been playing loose head I've known her as a loose head for the last couple of years. She came on, played tight head, and went up against not Poppy Cleal. She went up against Bryony Cleal and held her own, you know,
Putting a shift,
put in a
proper effort
massive
there.
shift. Amy Williams got absolutely taken out by Bryony Cleal on a dirty shoulder hit late
Proper.
tackle. That was brutal.
Just felt mean. Like at that point, Wales were already 20, sort of 20, about 15 points up. It's
Yeah,
just like so unnecessary.
it was unnecessary. But yeah, I think that was a far more enjoyable game.
It felt far more positive. I think the error count was a lot lower, just in
Yeah.
general, which helped. But also, Wales looked largely the better team throughout, and
And
like it's nice to see Wales win, especially
yeah.
given how shocking form they've been in.
I think as well, like when you look at the score, like if you compare from the two games, the women's game, it was 34-17 to Wales. Men's game was 33-31 to Wales. So like I think it was more comprehensive of a win um from Wales women. Again, we missed four conversions, so that could have been 42 if we had a better goal kicker. But yeah, I was happy with that. It was a good game.
Being not happy with it would be a bit of a shame. I mean, Amy Williams looked a real deal.
The thing that's annoying as well is that she's not really been in Wales squads. I think this is like one of the first times she's been called up, and she's been rapid for Bristol and like such a good player. So it's good to see her finally get a shot. I hope that Brown Metcalf is okay, and Nell Metcalf as well. I hope they're both all right because they both came off injured, and I think KB just had a concussion, which is unfortunate.
She looks I'm interested by Kate Bevan at 10. If nothing else, it's a bit of experience at 10 feels something that Wales have been missing for the last few years.
I mean, she's played 10 for Bristol quite a bit, like started at 10 as well. Um, it's okay if you've got a 9, I think that it works with, and I'm thinking, so we've got such talent at 9 that, like, in theory, KB10 does work. I think KB10 would work really well if, say, Jenna De Vera was at 12, where if you had a playmaking 12, I think it could
Yeah.
work. Um, I
I
think a
don't.
lot can go wrong though.
It feels like she just brings a bit more control
A bit more
in
control.
the
Yeah,
game.
I don't hate it. I think if we had, Seren, then KB, then Jenna, I think that could work.
Yeah, I'm not against it, to be honest. It looks
No.
pretty good weekend race, especially with Amy Hoskins coming on and looking. Sorry,
Li
Lily Hawkins.
Li yeah, Lily Hawkins, she's like 18, like just turned
Yeah.
18, I think. She's gone from playing under 18s to under 21s, playing her first game for Gwalior at 17 earlier on this year, and then playing for the seniors now.
Yeah.
That's mad.
She looks properly good though. She looks properly good.
We've got so many good nines coming through, though. It is a bit mad. Um,
Well,
apparently, that's all we can produce.
it feels. I can't think of it. It feels very Scarlet.
It does, and a lot of them are from West Wales.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, because also one because obviously we've got two Serens. Seren Winger, she used to be a 9, and Molly Reardon, the hooker, she used to play 9 as well.
That doesn't make much sense in my head, but I'm gonna let it be.
But it's great, like when you have Molly Reardon on, and like say if one of our 9s gets a yellow, or they're stuck at the bottom of a ruck, you just send Molly in.
Normally, your hooker playing 9 is when everything goes wrong.
Everything goes wrong, but it's actually Plan B. It's fine.
I don't, I'm gonna see it to believe it. In that I'm not that I don't trust you, Hattie, but I don't trust you, Hattie.
Do you know what? It works really well. I don't know why. Speaking of things that probably won't work well, Fiji versus Wales at the weekend. So do you want some kind of reminders of what happened the last time we played Fiji, that the men's teams played each other? Because truly, there's some outstanding things that happened in that game.
Sam Costello on the wing was
Sam
brilliant.
Costello on the wing, because apparent and remember Warren Gatland then blamed Sam Costello for that.
Costello,
Yeah.
it just very Gattons,
Yep.
very chic.
Yep. I think it was the first time we had a 6-2 split as well. And I think that's why it all went
I
shit.
think I'm pretty sure Gatlin would put him on to make a point that 6-2s are bad or
Yeah.
something, which is odd.
So other things that happened in that game, Blair Murray made his international debut. Um, so that's fun. He's playing again this weekend. We had the first 20-minute red card in a men's test match since the law changed. Not for us. Fiji got it. It was Semi Radradra got it.
Hashtag woke.
Hashtag woke. And Fiji won their first test match away in Wales. And
Ever.
Wales equaled their worst losing streak in their history, which then, as we all know, got worse.
I remember being desperately not upset, but just disappointed. Mainly because we got off to a pretty good start.
Mm.
And I think we were 14-0 up, and Fiji were down to 13 at the time. And then we conceded while they were down to 13, which takes some effort, and I think set the tone for the rest of that autumn international block.
Gareth
Just
Anscombe
being awful.
started at fly half. Just to let you know. And this wasn't long ago. This was 18 months ago.
I mean, that was the ghost of Gareth Hanson.
It was the ghost of Gareth Anscombe being directed by the
Yeah,
reincarnated like zombie of Warren Gatland.
yeah, it was odd. Will Rowlands was playing.
Which I don't mind, but that was Will Rowland's post Dragons, which somehow made him worse. Yeah.
It just
Um, but don't worry, we have got five of our starters from that game are starting again in this game, and one of them, Adam Beard.
I don't know if this is a game for Adam Beard, but given that we have three locks in the squad,
And I think based off the team we've picked, one of those must be injured.
what's Teddy? I don't know why Teddy Williams isn't starting. I
Well,
genuinely don't
he's
know
not
why
on
he's
the
not.
bench either, is he?
No, he's not. I don't know why he's not.
So he must be. Surely he's injured as he's not.
I get like the Baa Baas was his first game back in since what James since he broke his foot, but
Uh,
it's also like a lot covers Tame Country.
right, hear me out. Hear me out. And I say this as a member of the Tame Plumtree Defence League. Do I enjoy Tame Plumtree at lock? No. I think you end up losing some of the things, how quick he is off base. I think, you obviously lose that because he's stuck in the second row. You don't necessarily miss anything at line out because he is actually a very good line out operator. Round the park, it doesn't make a massive difference. What it does make a difference is at scrum time. So I would never put him against a South African pack in the second row. However, against Fiji, I'm not mad at putting him in the second row.
It just feels like a crime.
It does.
It feels wrong. I'm not. I can see why it would work.
Can we say what is also a crime? Speaking of Plumtree, his brother at the weekend was wearing his own basketball jersey. So it was New Zealand basketball,
Yeah,
said Plumtree on the back, and he wore that to his. I felt that was weird.
it's quite. Yeah, it's a bit. It's quite strong,
Mm,
like especially to kind of see Wales Baa Baas. They didn't say for a women's game either. Poor form.
poor form. That is poor form. I don't think any of them did.
Poor form.
Poor form. Yeah.
I'm not. To go slightly back on topic, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not confident about Saturday at all.
Good news is I don't think it sold many tickets, so no one will be there to see it.
The last rugby game that was played at Cardiff City Stadium was Dragons Scarlets in Judgment Day a few years ago, and that
Right.
was dire.
And wasn't that the game where we had like 3 or 4 ACL injuries in over 2 games? Because it was,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think like Theo Cabango broke himself permanently.
yeah,
Justin Tipuric died when he got pushed into touch on
yeah,
on some concrete. It was
yeah,
not. I'm not looking forward to watching another game at Cardiff City Stadium. It's not really made for
yeah.
rugby.
I've seen people say before about it, about having like women's games there because of the size or whatever, but it's not the surface. It
It's
just you
not.
just go slipping and sliding. I'm not
It's
a
not.
not a fan.
It's not a rugby ground.
No,
Like
no.
I say this. I'd rather play at Park Scotland.
Hey, it's Bill from the Bill Simmons podcast. FIFA World Cup 26 fans, listen up. As the official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 26, Michelob Ultra is giving away $1 million worth of FIFA World Cup 26 tickets and prizes. Enter now at MichelobUltra.com/superior access/FIFA World Cup 26. Michelob Ultra FIFA World Cup 26 superior access, no purchase necessary. Open U.S. residents 21 plus begins on December 1st, 2025, ends on July 31st, 2026, multiple entry periods. Visit www.michelobultra.com/superior access/FIFA World Cup 26 for free entry deadlines, prizes, and details.
Ideally, even the bloody Brewery Field, like Brewery Field over
Can you
Cardiff City
imagine
Stadium.
playing an international game at Brewery Fields
I'd want
in
it to be
in
Fiji. I'd want
in
it
the
to be
year
Fiji.
2026?
I think it'd be. I just imagine it.
I feel like
But
It should be done in December.
I think it should be done on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
It's equivalent conditions to when it was Ospreys Blues in start of 2024. It's literally just a mud bath.
I so the only reason I would go to Brewery Fields is to watch the Baa Baas versus Fiji in
Not
like
gonna lie,
Boxing Day, New Year's Day.
that would be brilliant.
That would be
Kind of
chaos.
just take them back to 90s rugby at
Yeah.
its peak.
But pre-90s, I feel like that would be like 70s bullshit.
Do you think we allow rucking old school style back just for that game?
I mean, it's Fiji, so I don't think like laws really exist.
Let's hope the VAR bars laws don't. Just a suggestion.
Yeah, just a suggestion. Um, but yeah, any what's your prediction for the game? Do you think
Wales by 2 in a very unconvincing manner. But
like a Wales by less than 5 and it's because of a try that probably should have been disallowed by the TMO?
or like a very contentious penalty try from all.
Or Fiji get a red card and for some reason the ref decides to give it as a permanent red instead of a 20-minute red.
Fiji getting a red card against us is very on brand.
Is very on brand, yeah. So I feel like that could happen and that would be what sways it.
Alternatively, one in Colo. I don't actually want this to happen, but does his ACL in on the Cardiff City Stadium turf?
Oh, I think we're going to have at least one ACL injury, because that's not a rugby surface, as we previously mentioned. And maybe actually, not to go like full conspiracy theory, but if Teddy Williams is just rehabbing the injury, like back to play kind of thing, do you want him playing on a dodgy surface if he's just breaking his ankle? He's just coming back from a broken ankle.
No, preferably I don't want anyone playing on a dodgy surface.
No, I do wonder. But it is a lunch-friendly fixture, so don't worry. It's at 2:10.
Is that a lunch-friendly fixture?
It is lunch-friendly. For those of you who don't know, a lunch-friendly fixture means that you can go get lunch, have a pint, and then go to the fixture.
I think it's a bit early for a lunch-friendly fixture, unless you're grabbing an early lunch.
What time are you eating lunch?
12:30. I'm sorry, if I'm going to grab lunch at 12:30, I'm finishing lunch at 1:30. I don't have time to get a pint before I go to the stadium.
Are you not drinking the pint with your lunch?
No, I want to go for a pint after my lunch.
Being very difficult here. Yeah, it's just a full day of rugby, which is not fun because the problem is with the Argentina games being at like 8:10 like they normally are. It won't start at 8:10. It'll start at like 8:20 because it's Argentina, and I'm usually a bit delirious by then.
I am looking forward to sitting in front of my telly and not moving for 15 hours.
I mean, I frequently do that, but I'm watching Real Housewives.
No comment. I'm going to ask you equally as much drama. Wales are playing. Something bollocks are going to happen, and I'm going to be quite annoyed. Adam Beers are going to throw a 50-meter miss pass into the hands of a Fijian.
Do you know, I just feel like how he's allowed back on a pitch after the kick attempt is beyond me.
It's not the worst thing I saw in that France game. It was close.
Yeah.
I am not particularly confident. I don't know anyone who is. I think it's Fiji. Everyone's naturally shitting themselves because Fiji have looked pretty good in the last year. Mind you, they've got a new coach this month, and their whole union's a mess. So makes it nervous.
So I wasn't watching the Fiji game at the World Rugby Junior World Championships. I'm surprised they couldn't get the word world in there anymore. But at the World Rugby Junior World Championships, apparently Fiji are not playing very well. So hopefully this is, the tail end of our embarrassment.
We can hope.
Yeah. Speaking of the World Rugby Junior World Championships, which I really want to try and get another world in there.
Is it not World Rugby World Junior World Championships?
Yep, in Georgia World 2026.
So basically, World.
Yep. Wales are doing quite well. So beat Georgia by 1 point on Saturday. So it meant that we had 3 wins from 3 in one day.
I don't think that's ever happened before. And it's also quite fun.
For it to happen to Wales, surprising. And then earlier on today, we played Uruguay under-20s 47-0.
We did trounce them. I managed to watch that earlier. Steph Emmanuel looks a step above, quite frankly, the level. Tom Bowen scored a screamer.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we next play South Africa under-20s, who beat Uruguay 104-7.
But you conceded.
True. And they also, did they? Or have they not played? Oh, they haven't played Georgia yet.
I think that's due to play them later as we record.
As we are speaking, they're kicking off. So, lovely. Well, I think that's it for our snack wrap.
I was going to say it's very snack-sized. 35 minutes.
35 minutes. Maybe you've gone for a run. I don't know if anybody who listens to our podcast runs. Gone for a walk to the shop to buy a snack. I don't know. Having a bath. Up to you. I don't know. If you want to, we've just launched our Scottish pod on Global Gainline. If you want to listen to them, they've got much nicer accents. So you can go check that out on the Global Gainline channel. Our brother and sister pods are recording here, there, and everywhere. It's summer. We shouldn't be playing rugby. We shouldn't be recording podcasts. So you can check those out either here on the WRRAP channel or on Global Gainline. And if you are English, actually English, not just with a fake English accent, and you want to talk about rugby on the internet, we are looking at starting a Prem pod. So please get in touch with Lee. You can find him in the comments. He lurks there and replies sarcastically. And yeah, that's it. Subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.
Uncovered windows can make your home feel up to 20 degrees hotter. Stay cool and save up to 50% off custom window treatments during the 4th of July mega sale at Blinds.com. From outdoor shades to room darkening blinds, finding the perfect fit is easy. Get free samples, expert design help, and professional measure and install services. Or DIY with confidence and support every step of the way. Shop up to 50% off site-wide, plus huge savings on doorbusters right now during the 4th of July mega sale at Blinds.com.